Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands and waterways on which we are recording today, the Wurundjeri, Wairarong and Bunurong people of the Eastern and Greater Kulin Nation. We pay our deepest respect to their elders, past and present, and we extend that respect to all First Nations peoples listening today. We honour that their sovereignty was never ceded. We acknowledge that their enduring and unbroken connection, as well as their contributions, their storytelling, continued fight, deep understanding, commitment, and their continued care for country, land, waterways, sky, culture, and communities. We stand with them in their ongoing calls for truth-telling, treaty, sovereignty, justice, land rights, and reconciliation. This was, and always will be, Aboriginal land. Now, every first Tuesday of November, the roar of the crowd echoes across the Maribyrnong. But before it became the race that stopped a nation, Melbourne, it began as a bold colonial experiment, a day that mixed champagne with chaos, high fashion with heartbreak, and almost mythical obsession with the horse called Archer. From broken glass walls to riverside secrets, $2 billion futures and $2 billion futures. This is the full story of the Melbourne Cup, past, present, and galloping, and will be galloping towards the horizon. So, if you like, hit the like, share, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube. Follow Down the Yarra on Podbean and across all our socials for more. Before we begin, want to give a quick heads up. Today's episode contains references to gambling, alcohol, animal welfare, and class inequality that some viewers and listeners may find distressing. So if this is not the right time for you, I completely understand. As always, your well-being comes first. Please consider to either pause, skip, or check out one of the lighter episodes. Yet, if you do choose to go with this episode, as always, remember to listen and watch with care. Welcome to Down the Yarra, the podcast that takes you on a deep dive into the heart and soul of Naarm, Melbourne, and South Central Victoria. Whether you're a local or just curious, this podcast is for you. Hey, I'm your host, Andy. Today we're going for a ride through the layered history of the Melbourne Cup, as well as much more. So, our story begins in 1861, when the newly rich gold rush colony wanted a spectacle to rival the British Derby. Enter the Victorian Turf Club, a few ambitious racing men, as well as a brand new course beside what was then called the Saltwater River, aka the Maribyrnong, chosen from its natural amphitheatre and its convenient proximity to Naarm, Melbourne's CBD. The first Melbourne Cup, must be said, it was chaotic. 17 horses entered, unfortunately 2 died in the race, and only a few hundred punters bothered to show up, till Archer, Gadigal-Sydney horse that had walked over 800 kilometres to race, stunned everyone by winning twice. From then on, the Cup was unstoppable, hence it became the colony's day of excess, betting, beer, bustle, as well as brass bands. By the 1890s, Melbourne Cup Day was already a public holiday. Unofficially at first, then became recognised officially. The Cup brought everyone together. Ladies in silks, factory workers on the grass, politicians mingling with pickpockets. But yet, death was never far away. During the 1890s depression, tragedy was never far away, So, bookmakers went bankrupt. The racing scandals became front page news. And yet, the Cup survived, a shared ritual through good, bad, and indifferent times. Even during World War One and Two, when crowds gathered as soldiers fought in Europe and Asia. Fast forward to the 20th century, it turned the Cup into an international carnival. Names like Phar Lap, aka Big Red, Bart Cummings, and Makova Diva, all became folklore. In particular, Phar Lap, aka Big Red story. The horse was shot dead in America after dominating the Cup, symbolising both Australian pride and vulnerability. By the 50s, TV had cemented its place and brought the race into living rooms nationwide. Yet by the 1980s, corporate marquees were for the rich and famous at Flemington. And by the 1990s, the international entrench made made it truly global, from Japan, Ireland, and all over Europe, the Americas, and of course across the ditch in New Zealand. Horses were redefining the competition. Well, let's talk about the mysterious broken glass on top of the Flemington racecourse wall. Originally, it had shards of broken glass where it sat in wet concrete on the racecourse fence. A 19th century security system meant to keep out wayward intruders and unpaid punters out after dark. These glittering defences reflected lantern light. It was pretty, yet pretty nasty. Over time, they became a symbol working for to keep to keep the working class out. It could be said you could hear the horses, hear the cheers, but yet at the same time never touch the turf itself. Today, installing such barriers is illegal under modern safety laws. A reminder of how much it's changed in public safety, liability, and inclusion has all evolved over time. Meanwhile, the Maribyrnong flood wall served as both a boundary and flood prevention. Both before I continue, I have a YouTube video recommendation for 9News' channel Fought on the Flood Wall, which explores its controversies surrounding the wall. Highly recommend it. Anyway, let's get back to the episode at hand. During heavy rains, channeling creates channels from the track, part of massive engineering effort to reshape the riverbank and created the lush lawns that you see today, on a floodplain no less. The Cup still draws millions of eyes today, but yet it's a different world to what it was. Now, Animal welfare groups question the cost of glory. Young audiences debate whether the Cup should evolve or retire the crown entirely. At the same time, tourism bodies, milliners, and Victorian Racing Club reinvent Cup Week as a cultural festival. Food, fashion, and even environmental initiatives. Flemington itself is transforming as well. New grandstands, smarter drainage, digital wagering platforms, and there are plans to make the precinct more accessible year round. So, what's actually next for the race that truly stops the nation? Imagine greener Flemington powered by renewable energy. Imagine bio-tracking the show the horse welfare in real time. Imagine virtual attendance. The fans worldwide step onto the track via augmented reality. The Melbourne Cup has always reflected on who we are. From the rough and ready colonial outpost to global, multicultural city, and its future will mirror what kind of society we choose to build on from this point. But before we gallop off here's a little teaser. So, next episode, we're going to explore Melpinge, twice yearly alignment when the sun perfectly aligns with downtown, the Hoddle grid in the CBD. In other words, it's like the southern Stonehenge. It's urban geometry, ancient energy, as well as pure Melbourne magic. You don't want to miss it. So, if you love the race ride through racing history, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel here. And follow us on Podbean, plus all our socials for more details. For more from Naarm, Melbourne, and South Central Victoria's rich, weird, and let's not forget wonderful past. So, from the roar of the Cup, the quiet bend of the Maribyrnong, this has been Down the Yarra. As always, I'm your host, Andy, and I'll see you next time.